Nigeria has wealth. They have resources. Like, there is money here.
Organically, per capita income, I'm an economist. Nigeria is a poor country. We export oil. Saudi Arabia has OPEC quota of 4 million barrels with a population of less than 15 million. Nigeria, with a population of 200 million people, has an OPEC quota of 1.4 million barrels. Sell the crude oil, divide it per head. We are poor. Nigeria is a poor country. Forget the corrupt money you see in Banana Island and the rest. Like, excuse my French, Nigeria is a fucking poor country. The wealthy people are those who have cornered the resources of 5% through corruption. Salted it in Geneva, in HSBC London, in Wells Fargo America, and watched the rest of us to reflect before them.
They don't even know why or what is the reason why it happened. It's just everybody make a choice. Then if I reach that, we know what's happening. But like, you have a plan.
Welcome to the Resurgence Podcast.
Welcome everyone to the Resurgence Podcast. Today we're discussing is Japa worth it? With me is Kimber, Fasa, and Draco. So, Kimber, tell me your experience getting here today.
Even just getting here today, guys, like, I'm sorry. The way that people see me, it's like the first thing they see, whether it's my Bolt driver, whether it's the police, whether it's like a potential partner, no matter what it is, the first thing they think is, oh, take me out of this country, please. And it takes over almost every situation or every like conversation I get into. And one of the first things I bring into every conversation I have with these people is, do you know the reality of what you're asking for? Because here, cost of living is cheap. Cost of labor, like if you need a child care person, if you need a tailor, a mechanic, whatever, you're paying, maybe 20K, 30K.
Yeah.
For me, that's what you pay in like an hour of their time, not a month. And the salary does not, it doesn't compare. So to summarize quickly, I don't think it's worth it because at the end of the day, like, you're paying way more over there to be cold and bored and away from your home, away from your family, in a situation where, like, you have to get used to somewhere completely different. New food, new culture, new way of living, new values, and it's just like, the reality is completely different than what the media portrays it as. So we have this, like, romanticized idea of Canadian life and Canadian history. Like, the history of Canada is not as perfect as we make it out to be. So you're going to Canada and you think, my life will be perfect, I'll be happy, my family will be comfortable, we're meeting our needs. But at the end of the day, every single minute of your life there will be a struggle because you're just trying to survive. It's not about being happy or like working towards your dreams. It's about survival. Whereas here, you're living to live. When you're done on a Friday night, here, you're gonna drink some beers with your friends, you're gonna have fun, but like, where I come from, Friday night, you're going home to your wife, your kids, you'll eat dinner, you'll go to bed, and that's it. So at the end of the day, what's worth it? Like, what do you think getting there is gonna do for you? Is it gonna be more safe? Sure. More fun? No. So I don't know, is it worth it?
Well, she said something I agree with, which is the fun part, right? And I feel like man's essence is to live and not to exist. And anywhere you can live in and not just exist, because I mean to live doesn't mean you're alive. In fact, anywhere you're alive in, if it's in Nigeria, you feel alive in, and I mean, you can fund the type of lifestyle you want as long as you're alive. You're not existing, you're living. Then that's okay. And if it's not in Nigeria, that's also okay. I mean, like, the world is very big. Like, you're not put in the world to just come and be in one place. You can move. You can wherever. Like, I mean, she's literally here in Nigeria. Right? That means she moved from where she was down here. But the important thing is living, not just existing. So for the Japa culture, right, or for the Japa trend is, when you Japa, are you living or you're existing? And also, that's one angle. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is, I mean, like in one of our episodes, right? We spoke about the whole slavery thingy and whatnot, right? If you are jackpying to go and do the same, slavery that your ancestors did, I don't think they'll be. And I mean, like the ones, especially your ancestors that were moved there against their will. I don't think it's something in their graves they'll be happy about. Something they didn't want to do voluntarily, and you are voluntarily with your own money paying to go and do, the whole slave trade thing. So yeah, that's
Thank you very much. Number one, what is the major cause for Nigerians Japan economic opportunities? The average Nigerian graduate leaves university, doesn't get a job in a year or two. Very few privileged get a job. Hopelessness stares you in the face. We all know the kind of governance we see. No Nigerian jackpot to anywhere in the world is having an erroneous belief that it will be easy. But if he puts in the work, you get the results. Canada, where you come from, I'm sure they pay per hour. If I'm ready to work 12 hours a day and I have the opportunity to work 12 hours a day, I'll have more income than the man that works 6 hours a day.
And your taxes.
I'm coming wait. And the greatest motivation to amassing money or creating wealth is the presence of poverty. I stay back in Africa. I'm idealistic. I'll be here to make things work. 10 years pass you by. You're not married. You don't do anything. I'm not going to Canada to drive a Rolls Royce. I'm just trying to put food on my table. Follow God's injunction. Go ye and multiply. Come back home to a warming embrace of my wife and the smile of my children. Am I asking for too much? Which Nigeria doesn't guarantee me. Which Nigeria doesn't guarantee me. As much as you paint a picture, it's not a bed of roses. If you remain in Canada, you will get married. You will have a child or two. It will give you comfort. We mustn't all be rich. But in Nigeria, you watch the years pass you by.
I feel like in Nigeria, you see so many, because there's so many people, you see so much wealth as well, right? Like, Nigeria has wealth. They have resources. Like, there is money here. Where I come from, like, you see 1% has money. And then you see the amount of poverty. And especially since COVID. Because COVID made it so much worse. Mental health, addictions, abuse. Like, everything has just gone so much harder in the last, 5 years, I'd say. So, yes, you might be putting food on your table, coming home to this lovely family, white picket fence, and, this romanticized or idealistic world. But at the end of the day, you're working your butt off. And then, at the end of the day, 40% of your money goes back to the government in taxes. So even if you're making $40 an hour, you're not seeing that $40. And then even then, rent. What you guys pay in a year for rent, I pay in a month. So yes, the cost is, you have to balance it.
I'm going to come back again. Nigeria is not a wealthy country.
But there are wealthy people.
I'm coming. The wealthy people are those who have cornered the resources of 85% of the population through corruption. Salted it in Geneva, in HSBC London, in
Canada.
Wells Fargo America, and watch the rest of us genuflect before them. Organically, per capita income, I'm an economist, Nigeria is a poor country. We call ourselves, we export oil. Saudi Arabia has OPEC quota of 4 million barrels a day. Nigeria, with a population of less than 50 million, Nigeria, with a population of 200 million people, has an OPEC quota of 1.4 million barrels a day. Sell the crude oil, divide it per head. We're poor. Nigeria is a poor country. Forget the corrupt money you see in Banana Island and the rest. Excuse my French, Nigeria is a fucking poor country. All the indices, GDP, GNP, everything, we are poor. We don't accept we are poor because you know why? We see some assholes who have cornered people's resources. And because the Nigerian man doesn't know how to get his right from the system, he genuflects before them. You come to Nigeria, see them driving big cars, see the Land Cruisers that are not even in Canada, you assume we are rich.
Yeah.
You need to go to Ogba, Mushin, Idioro, Ijora, you see the real Nigeria. What you see in Banana Island is just a facade. It's a facade. Less than 0.5% of their population has stolen people's money.
But to be clear, I have gone outside Banana Island now. Like I have seen poverty here.
Where?
Makoko, for example.
Okay.
Okay, I've been there. I've seen the people. I've been to the schools. I've seen the resources, the books. I've seen it all. Like I know what the reality can be, but I've seen both sides.
That both sides
Okay.
is not 1% of our population. It's not.
I would say though the biggest amount of Nigerians or Africans who come are students.
Okay.
Because it's the easiest way to come to Canada in terms of visa, in terms of just process. However, if you come to Canada as a student, you have to understand your amount of hours that you can work are limited.
Okay.
The amount of jobs that you have access to are limited because they don't want to hire outside people. There's a question of how long you're here and everything, and visa letters and trying to help them in their process. Most employers don't want to do that. So it's students.
So how are they surviving? Because everybody's still running to Canada.
Barely. These people so in my school, I would say over 20% of students are Nigerian students in my school alone that I graduated from.
Okay.
And out of those people, they're working cash jobs on the side. They are, running Uber. They're trying to hide side income just to meet their basic needs. And then these programs that they're applying for are 4-year programs. So, like me, I pay $600 a class. An international student pays like $2,000 per one course, and they need a minimum of 3 courses per term for 4 years. And on top of those school payments, you still have rent, transport, food. Like, it's unrealistic.
After school, after they graduated.
There's no guarantee to stay.
Okay, for those who stay, is it worth it?
It can be. If you are lucky enough to find a job before everything runs out. Because the thing is, after your school time is done, you have a limited amount of time to find and secure a job before you are forced to leave. If you don't find a job that's ready to sponsor you to stay, because as a student visa, you're not guaranteed to stay. You need to then apply for a work visa, a visitor's visa, or something. If you do that, the job has to sponsor you. And very few employers want to do that because it's a whole process. There's payments, so it's not guaranteed. You're just coming for school. They're not guaranteeing you 5 months.
The quality of your life should determine what you're looking to. So, take for instance, a bank manager. There are many bank managers that quit their jobs and to Japa, right?
Sold houses.
Some, the thing about stories, right? Is stories are nice when they're successful. That's when you will hear them. So we don't really hear much of these stories to see the actual outcome, if this was the right move or not, right? But the stories I've heard, right, especially those in privileged positions that have made those type of moves, not good. In fact, some of them, especially because jackpotting also, like I said, your quality of life, and also as a single person or as a married person, you're also jackpotting. Aside economic reason, the way our society is structured is different, right? So you jackpot with your family, for instance, and typical African setting, you're the man in the house, right? You're in control of everything, and you can do, so you have certain control and leverage over things and your household, and you travel, and it's no longer the same thing, and your wife can literally make a phone call and you're out of your house. Do you understand? But you're out of your house there. Where are you going to? You have literally nobody. But if you're in Nigeria, for instance, even if your wife manages to kick you out, you have friends, you have relatives, but you're literally in no man's land. Like, who are you going to call? Who are you going to run to? And this is happening, right? So again, depends on the quality of your life. If you have everything going on well for you, you know, I mean, Africa is not perfect. There's nowhere that's perfect, in fact, you know. But you have things going on well for you, and you're looking, you're looking forward, and your prospects are still good. Just absolutely no reason why, because of the fear of the unknown, you sell everything, pack up your life, and Japa. I'm not for that.
Okay.
A bank manager quits his job, sells his house, packages his family,
Yeah.
and they move. Why is that? To the average man, he's comfortable, but he's not sure of keeping or sustaining what he has
Also, the fear of the unknown.
because of the volatile nature of Nigeria. He's not going because he's hungry. He's looking for stability this time. He's not going there thinking that he's going to pick up gold from the streets. My kids are growing up. I don't want them to face the unknown uncertainty. I have a female friend who was termed infertile in Nigeria. She didn't go on a student visa. They're in Edmonton. She and her husband. He's an architect. She went on this immigration thing. It took years. But I know 3 months before she relocated to Canada, I dropped her at the hospital in Dauphin Estate where they did a surgery on her concerning fallopian tube. And 3 months after she didn't conceive, they left for Edmonton. She called me after 4 months and told me that hospital I dropped her off, that when she went for checkup in Canada, said that surgery was unnecessary. 7 million was flushed down the toilet. They gave her drugs. A month after she conceived, she has 2 kids now. She has 2 kids. Her husband used to have persistent catarrh here. He went to Canada without drugs, he disappeared. He came back after 6 months to finalize and shut down and go back because he was doing very well here. When he came back, I saw he said that the catarrh wasn't disturbing him there. When he came back, under 1 week, he came back. So basically, apart from the economic reasons, also the medical, which we don't have.
Medical reason and fear of the unknown.
Medical too is also a major part.
Education.
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 Okay, so leave the I cannot eat. I want the best for my children. I'm a very senior civil servant today. But if you give me the option, particularly for my 10-year-old daughter who is a genius, I might not look at because of myself. I'll look at it because of her. Let her be the best she can be. That's all. Because here, this is a graveyard for talents. It's a graveyard, a cemetery.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Nigeria is a graveyard.
I'm telling you the truth. The best don't rule you. The best don't lead you. The best of you are all abroad. Why?
Do people travel out of the country because they want to keep their families? They want a safe environment for their families. Where is the family aspect in all of this?
If you read the social media, see what's happening, see a lot of marriages fail when they relocate, which still boils down to the whole essence. The foundation of marriage should be consummated. It's love. You marry for the wrong reasons. When you go abroad, the fissures will show. You will part.
Why is it not showing in Nigeria?
And because our society doesn't really our society favors the man. Most times in the advanced world, it's mostly the women that instigate the breakup of the home. I'm free. I can call the cops. I know of an Igbo man in Texas who brought in his wife to be a nurse, and they had a domestic spat, and the wife was threatening him. I will call the police on him, not knowing that the daughter was recording her. She was 6 years old. So she called the police. He has beat me. The police came fully armed, almost a SWAT team. Get the fuck out of the house. Who the fuck are you? And we arrested the man. The wife went with him to the station, and the daughter called her neighbor. My daddy didn't touch my mom.
I showed that the record.
I showed the record. So the white neighbor went with her, and when they played They told the woman to leave the house. She was the instigator. So, which boils down to the fact is this: when there's love in a home, you might look at it like this, but love is a very powerful emotion. To make you tolerate the worst in your partner because you love her, I love you. It's deep. But the average African woman or Nigerian woman, because of
Survival.
economy, which boils down to economy, they throw love to the dogs.
So in the first instance, are you sure they didn't even get married because of survival or because of economic reason?
I will tell you the average Nigerian woman today, like my own society, let me my own society now. I'll go to my village now. My intending wife has never been to a city. And I tell her I want to marry. Next week she will tell me, are you living in a flat? You've been a flat. Is that love?
That's not love.
Eh?
Yeah, that's not love.
This is reality. There. Some of these girls have never been to Lagos. They'll pick them from the village to Houston, Chicago, New York. Look at the shock. Look at the drastic.
Culture.
And they
Shock.
start hearing, you have right to, you have right to, you have right. How can I listen to Papa Emeka again?
But also, like, the power dynamic changes when you go abroad.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Because here, the
Men
man
are
of
favored.
the
I'm
house
charged.
is the
Right
man
in
of
the
the
house.
house.
I'm
And
saying,
in Canada, the person who has the most power, the most rights, like, say me and a man have babies, and it doesn't work out. Who's gonna get the kids? Me.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Who?
Even if I make 100K a year and the man makes $1 million, I will still get the kids because I'm the mom.
Yes.
It does not matter.
And
Even if I'm not deserving, even if I'm whatever, and it's just because I'm the woman. But here, it's the man who holds the power. So, like, if the woman chooses to leave, okay, you leave.
Yes.
But your children will stay. Your children will be cared for by the man.
Yeah.
Because, like, the power dynamic and just the relationship is completely different. And if you take a relationship that was built here, where the man holds the power, and then that man or that relationship shifts and goes abroad, that whole power dynamic changing, I mean, as a woman, all I can say is, like, our mindset would, like, shift, right?
Yes.
Because all of a sudden you hold the power and you hold, like, confidence, and you're just like, you're power hungry, right? And so, like, small fights or whatever, like, it changes. It changes you.
Useless man. One of them was beating me. Look at him in church. You can't do with his friends for not about 2 days. I can't talk.
I can't talk.
I mean, I can't really speak on the married people thing.
Neither can I.
But why I can say this? Again, look at the quality of your life before. I really just like to speak, about the whole Japa thing, right? Because most people, it's the bandwagon. Everybody's Japa, everybody's Japa. So, you understand? Like, they don't even know why or what is the reason why that Japa. They just, everybody make a trend. Oh, sha. Then if I reach that, I will know what's I will do. But, like, you need to have a plan. Do you understand? Like, you need to have a plan. Because, for instance, you're in Nigeria, you have a good job, you have a car, your life is looking upward, right? Forward. And you just close shop and everybody's going, let me go. And you don't even know this person that is going, right? This person has, like, friends or family, has something is actually going, so they didn't tell you about, but he just told you about at the goal. You understand? And just if you just I think that's where I have the issue.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Like, it has to be because nobody really speaks on this side. Like what I'm actually going to do. Everybody just Japa, like the advice you get is don't worry, just come. Just
Figure it out.
Yeah,
Figure it out as you go, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there should be something really. There should be something at least. Again, depends on where you are in life.
Like you said something. There's poverty even in Canada. What is economic reason one of the reasons you moved to Canada?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Even now, like, I'm here visiting, right? For for me, my birthday, I was like, okay, I can drop like $1,000 on my birthday there, buy a couple bottles, take my friends out, no big deal. Here, I take that same money, I rent a private beach house, I have boats, I have drinks, I have food, I have cake, I have everything I need for what would cost like a couple bottles back home.
Let me hold your tongue. That's why Nigerians are traveling out of the country.
Yes.
So if they can work and save that 1,000 you're talking about and come back here, they use it well. They just as.
But then also think of the like $2,000-3,000 you're spending just to get here, to come and spend that money. Because cost of travel,
we just use 1,000 as an analogy. They work maybe extensively for 1-2 years.
But I'm not saying this. Does it even make sense to go 3, 4, 5 years, then come back in the japing months, then go again and suffer again?
That's the reality of those things.
Excuse me. There's something I want to point out here. Number one, the immigrants that came into the US came without nothing, came without any plan what to do. See where they propelled themselves to. The Asians are replicating what they did in the UK and Canada today. The grocery stores, in their restaurants, and other things they're doing.
That's systemic.
I'm coming with mass.
And community. Because they help each other out, yeah.
This was the Jewish template.
Yes.
Asians template. Also replicated. And the Africans are not.
That's different.
But so individually,
there's no plan, there's no structure, there's no
formula wise, we are not even on the path.
Exactly.
That's your brilliance.
Yes, I'm coming. The Jews kept the money within themselves. And the Asians kept the money within themselves. Let me tell you what happened in the world. The Jews left the retail business for high business, fashion, design, banking.
Yeah.
The Asians took over. The average Igbo man in Nigeria excels in trading. I've not heard any Igbo man excel in trading in the advanced world. I'll ask myself this question. We are wonderful traders. Maybe a person I shop, I will tell you what you don't spend on you spend. But why have we not been able to replicate that in the advanced world? These are questions I've not asked myself.
Just like maybe the answer to that is because we are migrating into.
No, not that. We are not taking trade as a passion. We're taking it here to survive. As a passion, you do it there. Simple.
So how do we solve that?
I'm coming. So basically now, if you say the average Nigerian is living here without what to do, the rough wrong, Calvin Klein and Co, their parents came from Lithuania, Ukraine, without anything. Just let me run away from oppression. This is where we are today. So that having nothing to do should give you a creative mind. Without the site, you know where to deal with it.
But then there are still people who fail to meet like what they need, like to meet their basic needs there, because like job creation, housing, like we're so slow in Canada. We do not have the manpower you guys have here. Like where I come from, I have 1 million people in my province. We maybe make like 1,000 homes a year, and then we're bringing in people from everywhere in the world, thousands and thousands. Where are we gonna put them? What jobs will they take? What like school? Like we're not building our schools.
What the Canadian government is trying to do, I understand it, is what propelled America to get where they are. They opened their shores. Canada is bigger than America, one mass.
Yes.
But it's not as popular as America.
Yeah.
And what built America was the immigrants.
But now Canada is trying to shut borders and say, okay, let's take a pause from immigration,
for now.
Outside students,
Yes.
and all of this. Let's chill it out. Why? Because we do not have the infrastructure in
To
place
accommodate them, yes.
to accommodate even what we have, let alone more
America
people.
didn't have it.
But how did they? So then
New
how
York
is it that they got
like,
to where they are?
New York
and we
was
didn't?
demolished like 3-4 times in their history. New York got bombed, they rebuilt it, got bombed, they rebuilt it. See, once there's a need, the world will come out to fill that void. But Canada needs that immigrant labor. You do.
Yes, we do.
You do.
That's how we'll survive. But like, there's a give and take, right? Like, the government also has to try and keep up with current demand
Now,
before bringing in more
now,
people.
but now what I'm going to ask is this.
Okay.
Lastly, the immigration program, is it in cooperation with the provinces,
Federal.
only a federal thing? The state governments are not involved.
We're not allowed.
No,
Immigration
really,
is federal.
No, I know it's federal, however, I think, like, is there any way, okay, if someone will come from Nigeria, I can call Manitoba government, please, can you take 100 people?
So in Canada, immigration is a federal thing. There are certain amount of provincial spots available, but it is very limited, and it's based on like points, right? So families have more points because they're bringing young people who can build into society, right? And people who are bringing in their own business, like entrepreneurs. Okay, yes, people who have money or who are giving something, but your regular Joe, he has no chance, especially now that things are tightening up. So it's just like, if you're coming now, you're lucky because the spots are even more limited than they've ever been. But you're coming into a place where we're not ready for you. Like, we don't have the space right now. People from when I left Canada to now, homelessness has gone up, drug use has gone up, mental health addictions, and all of these problems. Like, it's astronomical the amount of issues that have increased
Since COVID.
since COVID. It's all COVID. COVID just like instigated a whole projection of problems that we're just starting to solve now. And then the federal government also put in so much money into our reaction to the COVID because they were paying people who lost their jobs or who couldn't work. So now all the money that could have gone into infrastructure, schooling, housing went there. And that money's not coming back yet. So there's no money, there's no infrastructure, there's no spots, there's nowhere for them to go.
So, however, one ask a final question. Would you advise everybody to jump from Nigeria to Canada?
All I can say is if you want to Japa, make a plan B, have some people there to support you through the process. Don't be alone in it. But if you feel like you're ready and if you feel like you want it enough, then shoot for the moon. And if you miss, you land in the stars. Like, it's about the journey, right? The destination is just a reward at the end, but it's about your journey. And wherever God takes you, that's where you go.
Advise everybody to jump.
Again, Japan depends on where you are. So in Nigeria, if you're not really doing much, the future's not looking good for you, then you might as well Japan. But do not be in a privileged position, right, and just cause of the fear of being Japan. But if you're not really struggling or you're not really certain about things, then you might as well just, there's really nothing you're doing here. But as long as you have something, good and futures looking bright, and you can go on with things, if you wish to do business there, you're traveling to do business, that's different. You want to have that type of professional life there, that's fine. But just Japa saying, I just did Japa.
If you have enough money to stock out somewhere, and you have the opportunity to buy citizenship, would you do it?
I will buy my citizenship on my body. On my soul.
Okay. So I don't need to ask you. I'm sure you advise anybody who has the opportunity to Japa. You will.
Why do you have young kids?
Okay.
Who you want the best for?
But if you're a single person, would you suggest it?
If I was single
with no kids,
I'll stay back.
You're single.
I'll stay back.
Yes. Clearly, with Japa was it's not a yes or no answer. And so, thank you everyone.